All right. By the way, have you guys read the patch?
J-Pie, we're recording.
Yes, we're recording. Fair
Thank
warning.
you.
Before you hit me with a word.
Yeah, that. No, I'm ready. I'm ready this time.
Yes,
All
yes,
right,
I read the patch.
All right, dope. So I'll be real. This is I'm sorry, not patch, no, excuse me, update.
Yeah, update. Yep, you're right. Update.
So it's interesting, right? They're basically just elaborating on last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Update. They talk a little bit about the new people that they're adding, which I really want to dive into, and then they show us the new skin here. But the first thing that I want to focus on is just this first paragraph, because it starts off like this for everybody listening. Today, we'd like to present the second half of the previous workshop image, workshop in quotation, and talk about the last one contained. While also introducing new staff members to our community, the team has been hard at work with the upcoming mastery and AI systems, along with working on our map and some interesting upcoming content. It's a bit of a run-on sentence. Where we are very excited for the near future of Vault and cannot wait to share some more awesome news and sneak peeks into what's coming. Now, we're getting a lot of focus here on mastery and AI systems. Now, we already saw a previous half of the image, or a portion of the image, right? And it was already shown that, there were numbers in there and whatnot, and the community decoded that the first half of the image had code that spelled out store games in Epic. They're officially announcing that they're going to be on the Epic Games Store. How do you guys feel about that?
I love it.
Yeah, hopefully it'll bring some, it'll make a little bit of a splash. There'll be some new players filtering in.
I wonder, does that mean it's going to be cross-platform? Are they going to work that in? Or is it going to be two different, server queues going on? The Epic Store and the Steam Store all playing by themselves.
I don't see why that would even be a thing.
Yeah,
I get your questioning on it, but I don't see why that would even be a thing. I think it's going to be more getting their name out there. We're going to get more people to come in because of it. But it's also, we've talked about this before, it's a great business decision just for SMS because I think Epic takes 12% of it or whatever, and
better profit.
And Steam gets more out of it,
like
so
30.
Takes 30%. Yeah, so it's definitely a better business decision.
Now, do you guys have this other image pulled up?
Yes.
Or let's say the more complete image, if anything.
Yeah, the complete one. Yep.
How do you guys feel about that? You can zoom into this like crazy, by the way.
I have a theory, and it literally just came to me. But before I give you my theory, I want to tell you what I think I see, or what I look at and what I see, and you're gonna laugh because you're gonna see it as well after I say this.
Right, it looks like I know what I see. Yeah.
It looks like they're welding C-3PO into one of those rolling robots that they do the fucking shoots on Star Wars. I don't know what they're called. You'll tell me the name, but that's what it looks like. It literally looks like C-3PO is becoming one of those robots. That's what I see when I look at this picture. All right, tell me I'm wrong.
I'll be honest with you. First of all, Jordica. Second of all, that's the name. Jordica.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
The technical name. But no, I'll be real with you. I looked at it. I couldn't help but think of the chair from that boss guy had at Ready Player One, or Player One movie.
Oh yeah, yep.
That was in his office, just like that big, nice chair, fancy. I mean, it's weird because it almost looks like a portal, but it's clearly some sort of levitation device. I don't know. I just like the art. Quite frankly, I like the art.
The art is great.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I also see a character with no head. Or maybe the head is just being blinded by the flash. I'm pretty sure there's no fucking head right there. Could be wrong. At least for now.
Yeah.
But the part that I noticed is this little triangle on his chest. Have we seen that before?
I don't think so. I don't recognize it anyways.
I know a lot of people were wondering, yo, is that Wraith?
Yeah, people keep on saying Wraith is what I'm seeing.
I don't remember even if Wraith had that little triangle circle on it. Actually, talk. But no, not even. Wraith had this little, I guess he did have some sort of Iron Man looking glow to his chest.
He looks more like Snake Eyes.
Let me do this. Let me actually go to Google Images.
From G.I. Joe.
Stop being a pleb.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. But like, look, this is a pretty good image right here. So he definitely has something in the center, but
it's upside down in comparison.
But could it be? What if we're not seeing a Wraith? What if we're not seeing a Wraith? What if we're seeing a Wraith skin that they're working on? What if they're planning on releasing a character and a skin alongside of it? And that's why we can't make it out.
It's a possibility.
Or it literally just could mean that the AI is just going to be actual bots.
This could be AI, just a symbol for AI.
Yeah, I think that's what I would guess. Because I'm pretty sure they mentioned it too in the post.
So I want to talk about the full picture, not the full picture, like that, just this side of it, the new side of it, right? Workshop 2 is what we're calling it.
Hold on. Just notice. What the fuck is this little robot with
that's her other drone.
Stickers. And an exclamation point and
that's her mine.
Headphones. Is that her mine? Are you sure?
That's her mine, yeah. The other one's her drone over top, that the little search drone.
Yeah, the one that flies.
And then that's her mine. That's why I see it from that. I could be wrong, but that's what I got from it.
Maybe. Sorry, I just hella zoomed in. Y'all were saying?
I saw some people speculate that one of the stickers looks like the cat from FaZe's backpack, I think.
I could see that.
Okay.
Just because it had like the little ears and shit. The little cat that was sticking out with the tail or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That could be a nice little hint in there, maybe.
Right. So the first image was Epic Game Store, right? It's it's still something to do, but it's nothing to do with the interior of the game, right? Nothing, that's all exterior,
nothing
right?
to do with the actual game, yeah.
Right. Or this other picture is we know we're working on AI. That's been put in both updates, right? 2 weeks ago and this update. We know we're working on AI
and Master.
But that scenery that we're looking at, right? So we're in space.
Like they're in a spaceship.
Right, we're in space. Just this last week, didn't Jeff Bezos also go to space? Jeff Bezos and Amazon Twitch. Is there going to be a Twitch event? Is there a team up with Amazon?
Dude, that's a great idea.
Is there something going on there?
You imagine if they synchronize a Twitch event in space, and what if like the next season pass? They just drop it. Next season pass, space theme. Because there were skins that we've seen in the past that teased as to space. And there were confirmed skins, unconfirmed skins. Not going to get into the details. You're going to have to watch those videos on that one. But what if the next overall theme of season, so to speak, right, for Vault has to do with space? I didn't even think about that Jeff Bezos shit, to be real with you. That's just kind of funny.
What comes to my mind is maybe, if it's Amazon related, since Amazon is partnered with Twitch, maybe they have some kind of new program cooking up where you can.
I was going to say Amazon owns Twitch.
Yeah. Maybe they have some program cooking up where you can win some rewards for watching Vault streams. Like some matter or
in the past.
Some marks.
Twitch drops, yeah.
Yeah, were you here for that, JPie? I'm pretty sure you were. I don't know if you started playing.
Maybe
it was during Christmas event, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the Christmas one. Yeah, because the Halloween, the Shadow Fest, we did giveaways. So yeah, it was the Christmas one was the Twitch drops. Yeah,
so basically they had it every certain amount of time you would get a tier, like a reward, and they had it set up like matter, random skin, matter, random avatar, stack. But you couldn't start accumulating time towards the next reward until you claimed that first reward, and with the second and third and so forth, to promote active watching or periodically active watching, as opposed to just leaving it on, coming back 26 hours later or whatever, right?
Right.
So maybe. I mean, I'm excited to see stuff like that come back regardless, because I really, really believe that a thriving Twitch community really can be make or break for a lot of games. Like, you can tell if a game's being successful or not by looking at their Twitch numbers. You could tell that with any major battle royale. You could tell like the success or not, because it's almost like the popularity of the game rises and lowers as well as their Twitch viewers do, and the amount of content creators, etc. So giving people a reason to want to stream it is huge. Now, I don't know, I'll be real with you. I just look at this shit, I just can't help but notice space. Like, I honestly am drawing a blank just staring at this. I do see some random I see some random font down here that I can't personally make out what it says in the back right there. I don't know if that's just random. Like, let's just make up some words and blur it out.
I don't think it's font. I think that is just a coil. I don't see font with that. Those are just a red coil to me.
Maybe the background is hinting at the new map a little bit.
Oh, what if the new map? I don't know. How would you guys feel about that? What if like they release a new map and it has to do with like a space theme? Like, you're not in Agora anymore.
I think that'd be cool.
You're in a separate extraterrestrial planet, or just like completely immersion, but in like a separate direction. How would y'all feel about that?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I don't think many people.
Different. I think we're going away from the Paragon situation. That's what I want. I want to see strides away from Paragon. I want to see you making your own game. Is what I want to see.
Yeah, and if it's cool, like it's got like this space aesthetic, you know, it could be a lot more
like one space colony versus the other, etc. Stuff like that. Turn the minions into little aliens walking around. You get me? Finally get rid of Reggie the Raptor and give me some random aliens.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'd be down for it. Even if they only do it seasonally, right? Like, they only got the map for like a few weeks and then change it. I don't know. I just want drastic change. Like, it doesn't have to be drastic change mechanically. Even sometimes just like that little overlay that they did for the Halloween map. There's just random pumpkins everywhere. It changed the lighting. That was lit. It was exciting for me. The snow map, couple little details here and there, but now they got snow particles everywhere. That was exciting.
Yep.
I want changes like that, and they got this new map guy. So I'm very excited to see how much variation he's going to bring to the table, which I think is a perfect segue to talk about the new people. What were you going to say there?
Yeah, they got a few new people.
Yes. Yep. Now, I'll be real. I don't necessarily fully understand each individual role because I am not a game developer, right? But they mentioned we have 3 faces to introduce to us. One of them is Stormtrooping. Then we got Daedrex, and then Ruben Takak. Sorry if I butchered that. Now, let me ask you guys if you know. When
Ruben's No Mercy. Just to go with that.
Is that the one that we went over, like the level designer and everything? Yep. Got it. Okay. So we'll leave it for last, perspectively. So, Rigger. Storm is a rigger and technical artist with passion for the game development with over 16 years of experience in the field. That's big, personally.
Yeah.
Getting somebody with that much experience, that is big. He's been on the team for over a week and has already made great progress with some upcoming bulk content. Can't wait to share his work. But we know at least his change isn't in the game, but somewhere along with the rigging and technical artist side, he's made changes. Maybe it's the way that the characters actually walk and everything, you know what I mean? Maybe now they're rigged properly so we don't get like some jankiness whenever they walk or cast a basic or something, you know?
Yeah, I think that's take the rogue Sparrow outfit.
The purple Sparrow skin,
her,
every time she shoots,
how
she
her
goes
cape. Well, I'm talking about how the rogue one, her cape moves, you know, and like that rigging, you know, like rigging that to the actual hero is part of that as well. I'm not 100% on that, but that's what I understand it as from the little bit I do know about rigging outside of it. So,
Okay.
that's what something like that. Like we have the clipping issues, like certain things, like like when Grux does his little dance, and his clubs go through his body, when he's doing his thing, it's like that. It's like things like that, like that.
That's a great point for emotes. That's probably going to be big. Not only on the, they could probably start adding VFX to those, which I really think they need to. But you bring up a great point. Little stuff like that shouldn't be happening. This rigger could probably clear that up.
Right. Well, remember when we were doing the gadget release as partners, and we were in there, we're checking out the emotes, and she does the whole lean back on her arm, and then her whole face just kind of drooped up for a while there. Do you remember that happening?
Yeah.
Like that's a rigging thing that I understand that I believe was what this guy would be Stormtrooper would be doing. Okay. That's the way I understand it. And
I can imagine if he's of course, an expert at rigging, implementing new characters and making sure that their rig, their actual skeleton is rigged properly to the skin. It's just going to make implementation of the characters even easier, so to speak.
Right.
So that's exciting. We got a gameplay programmer, Farman Deadvalab. Sorry, again, I'm just going to stick to in-game names. Dedrex. He's a very passionate gamer who, after 3 years of hard work and learning, was able to be working as full-time gameplay programmer. Very excited to work on an action MOBA such as Fall. We could not be happier to welcome him. Okay, gotcha. So, more of the, graduate student sort of vibes, or like self-taught even possible. But do we know what a gameplay programmer is? Is that more along the lines of?
This would be what I would think. Like how we met Deli. I think that's those numbers,
like, as far as coding and numbers.
You're able to sit there and crunch those numbers. Like, oh, we want to be able to go from core to core at this amount of time. Well, that's X times X divided by 30. Times this, whatever, and then all of a sudden, bam,
how to code it.
That's the way I understand. When you say gameplay programmer, I would have thought that, because it's all things that affect the gameplay.
Yeah, I also think bug fixing too. I think they're gonna have another helping hand with that.
Okay, so you think that has to do with bug fixing probably as well?
I think so, yeah, because gameplay, I'm not exactly sure the exact, I don't know how if there's like a technical definition, but it just seems like it would make sense because it's part of the game.
Has to do with the gameplay. I think maybe gameplay programmer is just literally just overall programmer. Anything that has to do with the gameplay in itself. Like, he doesn't mess with the art. It's just like another coder, so to speak, on the game, which might just facilitate the steps taken forward.
Right, because we do know it's a smaller team. So if it's a smaller team, we got this person that's doing the coding side of it. Maybe we got somebody that's doing the coding, but maybe their assets will be used better somewhere else. So we can
instead of one person wearing many hats, it's better to delegate. Yeah,
they can take a hat off and work somewhere else instead.
Now we got a chance to see his name was Mercy, right?
No Mercy.
Yep. AKA Ruben here. So we got a chance to see some of his work in one of our past videos. It was actually super exciting. I don't know if you got a chance to actually see those, JPI. Pooch, if you can send me that, do you have that link by any chance that you can send it to the fake Windu account? Yep. But to read here, they mention No Mercy is an artist who's been working in Unreal Engine for over 5 years with a passion for all things art related. He started freelancing at the age of 14, has been working hard on many projects ever since. We're happy to welcome him to our team as new level artist, and from some of the work that we saw, it's honestly very exciting, the stuff that he could come up with. He literally just sounds like one of these guys that, hey man, I love this shit. I started doing it young, and now he's just slowly turning into like one of those gurus in his field. That's the kind of vibe that we're getting off of this little announcement here.
Yep, I sent that to you. So while you're pulling that up, I'll tell JPI also. I've played a couple of games with No Mercy, and he's kind of explaining what he saw and how the things he's already wanted to work on. Like, for example, in the river, he wants to have like footprints. Like when you're pushing down into soft mud, he wants to use a footprint to form as you're walking through there and stuff like that, and like just certain things like that. Like he's already have things that he's already running through his brain, so it's great to see.
That's pretty cool. I would like that as a mechanic. Like, well, even just immersion, but say the footprints last for 20 seconds, right? And you're as a jungler, if I'm going through there and I see footprints, I'm like,
"Who's been in my jungle?"
Yeah, there's like, okay, somebody was here not long ago. So it could be a nice aesthetic change. Yeah, and it could also be like a actual impact the gameplay too.
Yep.
So if you can see on the screen that I'm sharing here, J-Pine.
Yeah, it looks nice.
You can see a lot of like lighting work, a lot of different assets being implemented. This one is actually super cool, like how he displays like water, different lighting. It's just exciting to see this sort of attention.
Very detailed. Yeah.
Like different foliage and stuff. Now, we can see the work that he's doing. One thing that I brought up the first time around was like this screen right here, like in this hallway or whatever, looks beautiful. But my thing is, he's probably going to not only bring in knowledge of how to make it look good, right? But I think the best knowledge he might be able to bring to the table is on the optimization side. Because the original Fault map that we got at early access had a lot more foliage, a lot more trees, different lighting, harsher lighting, etc. But a lot of that was toned down to literally, like, if you go to lane, if you look at the outer wall on any side of the map, the foliage is literally a picture that's leaning against the wall. It's not even actual foliage, right? Like, those were all optimization things that they had to do because of the crazy frame drops they were having, etc., to get a more stable game. But if they have somebody with experience coming in, will they be able to create an environment like this and have it perform well? Because that is going to be the key. Doesn't matter how good it looks if you run it at 15 frames. You feel me?
You scroll up scroll up to where the beginning of this little set was. Like that view right there, like obviously get rid of the house walls, but like put like a jungle wall in there or whatever, and that light coming through, like could you imagine like that light coming, like you're like you go into your red buff and then you turn around to that entrance and you just kind of see the light coming through of your jungle. I think that would look pretty freaking sick on one of our on the map.
Oh yeah.
Side note, it would be cool if red buff has some sort of red aura to it that you could see just like glowing from around the corner. So that, imagine, I'm not even at red buff. I don't even have visual confirmation. But if I see that red glow isn't peeking around that corner, I know my red buff isn't there. Somebody took it. But I still got to walk there to get the timer. You feel me? Just
That'd be nice.
Interesting mechanics. Or put some lava around red buff. Shit. Put some water around blue buff. Something. You feel me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, give me... I just want to see all these environmental changes. Even the shrines. Green shrine. Why the hell is green shrine not covered in like a ton of foliage around it? Okay, we probably know why. Like I said, optimization. But like green shrine, put a whole bunch of foliage around it. Gold shrine, bro. Why are there not treasure chests all around this bitch? And like coins all over the floor and shit. You know what I mean? It's the gold buff. Blue shrines, same thing. Like just make some random waterfall just coming up right behind the shrines or something, or they sit in a puddle. Just so many immersive details that opens the possibilities there. But it excites me that the potential of actually applying them is now even more of an option. Like this is one of my favorite pictures here too, because look at just the reflections on there. The possibility of implementing ray tracing to any of these maps, taking advantage of that 3D world environment. Then like no MOBA has ray tracing, guys. Think about that.
Yeah. Could you imagine like being on a map, you go over we just tested a map, right? And it had a puddle, right? And you're looking down at the puddle, and then you just like see this Kalari jump over top. Like you just looked at the reflection of Kalari, just like you're like, oh,
what the fuck?
Like,
that'd be cool.
Would be great.
Or like imagine if there's a waterfall and ever so lightly you can see there's like a reflection on the waterfall, but it's not perfect. It's hazy, right?
Yep.
And as you're walking through, you just happen to notice out of the corner of your eye, somebody's walking behind me. What the fuck? Take advantage of that 3D immersion. And I'm sure they want to. But seeing this possibility, again, it excites me, man.
Yep.
I'll be real, this looks like a Call of Duty map. It actually looks like a Call of Duty map. Like, you know, trenches everywhere, stairs running up. It excites me. It excites me.
Definitely very much excited.
Now, I will say, I really do wish they would have linked something like this with every single individual person. Similar how in the past, when they tease a new person, they're like, hey, we have a new UI guy. Here's some of the UI that he's done in the past.
Here's some yes.
We have a new, this person, this is some of the work he's done in the past. I like that. I don't like that this one is very bare, like literally 3 paragraphs in a row. Like if it wasn't for us showing this, many people might not know that this is the type of person that they hired. This looks dope.
I wonder, and nothing, I don't want to nothing against Dedrix, but I wonder if it's because of his, out of all these, he's the most experienced. Not that I'm saying he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's got 3 years, right? If his portfolio there's not much there, so then if they're showing things, then it just kind of, it might look like, so like if we just
it might be weird to show a portfolio of game designer, you feel me? Like for our buddy Deli, when his portfolio, he just has to mention games he's worked on, because there isn't really much to show as an individual game developer, you know?
Right.
It's like, hey, I wrote those 5, lines of code, just so you know. Like it's hard to show that, you know?
Yeah.
So he really has to, like, for example, he relies on, hey, I work for this studio. I worked on this game. I'm currently working for this company. That's I feel like that's what programmers have to kind of rely on. So maybe it's for the fact that you might be right. Maybe they just didn't want to have something shown for, and how do you show somebody that's worked on rigging? Like, hey, I've worked on these character models. You can't see the stuff I worked on. It's under the skin, but I worked on it.
Yeah.
You follow? That one's a little rough too. That's a little weird.
You could I know it's common, it's fairly common when like hiring for these positions, they'll ask them like a problem, like what would you do if you encountered this?
In this case, like that. Test.
And then obviously if they can't figure it out or they don't have like a proper solution, they're probably not going to get hired. But that's another way that like you vet and seek out like the highest talent that you can.
Right. Or like, what is it? Elon Musk, whenever he hires somebody, he literally asks them, if you're at the North Pole and I tell you to go north 1 mile, south, east 1 mile, and then south another mile, where are you? And he literally just looks at them as to how they actually answer the question. He's not looking for the answer. He wants to know how they got to the answer. Because it's not about whether they know everything, it's about whether they know how to access their resources, whether they know how to problem solve, whether they'll be a valuable asset. So, I mean, they're probably doing stuff like that. Who knows? But I'll be real, man. I can't wait. I honestly wish the jungle looked like a jungle. Like, you imagine jungle looking like this, and camps just sitting, and a camp just sitting in the corner? That would be amazing. A jungle that looks like a jungle. Not to BM or not to be sarcastic, but could you imagine? Like, in every MOBA that we've, played that's public, at least.
Right.
A jungle has jungle elements, but it's never truly looked like a jungle. Like, bro, I grew up in a tropical rainforest. I know what the jungle looked like. It's honestly not
just
like any
what they
MOBA
have.
we've seen. Like, you feel me? Like, if you look at this picture here that I have on the screen, that's probably the best version of a jungle that we've ever seen in a MOBA. And that's not a jungle. You feel me? A little bit of
Right.
foliage in a few trees is not a jungle. Low
Yeah,
key,
I
that's
agree.
an unkept backyard. Like, I want to see a jungle. I can't wait for the possibility.
Yeah, and this guy, like a lot of his photos, I get vibes like The Last of Us. Like he does some really
Actually,
nice
one
work.
of those is a fan rework of Last of Us. He did a rework, his own fan rendition
I-
of it.
See, like this guy's good.
That's
He's
dope.
good.
Now, I'm curious. We already knew that Fault was working on a map a long time ago. A new one, right?
Yeah.
How do you guys think this guy is going to kind of go with that? Because here's the thing. I'm gonna pose a problem, and I want to hear what you guys kind of think of the overall situation and what you think they should do. You guys ever been in a situation where somebody starts to work, they're about halfway done, and then you grab the work and you're like, this is a shit show. I have to start over if they want me to do it right.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, I think,
How do you think they should approach if a scenario like that comes up? 'Cause that would be-
it's natural, and they just, they can't be resistant to what needs to be done. If he comes in there and he makes a good argument for what he thinks, like, oh, maybe we have to do this and this and that, and if he has like a great logic behind it, yeah, absolutely. It's just, if that sets the map back 2 months, but it makes it a lot better, it's totally worth it. Totally.
Right.
Okay.
So you got to have a good team with you. A good team. I don't care who it is that's going to come out and make that announcement, but it's got to be a well-worded announcement saying, hey, we're actually, map's going to be a little bit farther out, or whatever announcement you got to make, because obviously something happened. We found issues or whatever, however it is. But if I'm the map artist or whatever, I'm the one that designed the map, I'm coming into this, it just got handed to me, I'm going to go through there. Very seldom are you going to get something like that and the whole thing is just going to be a straight shit show. There's going to be good aspects somewhere or whatever. I'm going to go through it and I'm going to comb through real quick and find those good assets and keep those, and then get rid of everything else and then work around those good assets and start, build back in. That's what I would do if I was in that situation. That way you're not doing that whole 2 months setback. Maybe you're, a month and a half or whatever, but you still get, a little more time shaved off to, with doing that.
Now, let's say best case scenario. This guy can literally just grab the building blocks, go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say best case scenario, a month or two, we get a way, way more immersive Fault map that now makes it feel like you're in a Fault map, not a Paragon map. Very big distinction there.
Yes.
What do you think that means for the game?
I think it's just one step towards the right direction. I think it's like a step towards a positive direction.
That's a huge step in another direction, in my opinion. Yeah, because if you literally, especially because what's the biggest thing in the game? It's the map. That's like, we're looking at map. That affects minion travel, that affects the time of the game. Everything is affected by the map. Like, the map is literally the biggest thing when it comes to the game. So if you can get a game, or you get a map that it literally is your own map, it's not Paragon, you've already shown the community, hey, we can do this. Because right now the community is a Paragon community, right? And we're trying to figure out which one of these, if not both, is going to excel. And if you can do a map and be like, hey, here's this map, and it's not Paragon, that's a huge step. Because then you're also, is it not Paragon, but you also did that well. Like I said, the map is huge when it comes to a game. You look at, you have your map and your mini map. Your mini map's based off of your map. Those are two huge points in a game.
See, I personally think too, Fault has slowly, over time, been trying to ease people into the idea that, hey, we're not trying to be Paragon. We saw that slowly with their kids. We saw that with some mechanics that they're being put in there. We're inspired by Paragon. And they say it on their website very well. We're built on the bones of a game that we all love.
Yep.
But we're not trying to be that game. Might rub some people off the wrong way. It happens. But I think this is a time for Strange Matter Studios to literally just say, hey, we're ripping off the Band-Aid. We're literally going to get to the point that the only thing you're going to recognize from Paragon are the heroes. And even then, with all the cool skins we're going to make, I'll be real with you, that Boris Panda Bear, you're not going to recognize that as Boris when you see him running around the map. That's going to be a sweet-ass skin. I mean, obviously, you're going to know it's Boris, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they'll eventually develop their identity where only the bare bones are going to be reminiscent of Paragon.
Pun intended. Bare bones.
Yeah, I see what you did there. I fucking can. I walked into that one. Oh my god.
Windu, I thought you did that like purposefully.
No, bro. Oh my god, I walked into that one. Shit. Anyway. I am beyond excited. But I really think they slowly now need to start making strides for individuality and make a statement. This is vault. Because I think that's going to be necessary to succeed. I don't expect any company to succeed by saying, hey, we're the other game 2.0.
Yeah. I mean, right now, SMS, if you're listening, if you guys are making a map and it still has the looks or the feel and the assets of Paragon, extend it, in my opinion. Take your time. You know, extend that time frame. Let us know
in the comments down below, because they read those comments.
Yeah. And extend it, in my opinion, because if you extend that and you give us a map that is your map, that is an SMS map, that is a fault map, take your time with that and give us 2 more heroes or whatever to kind of like, hey, we know we were told you map was our next thing, but here you go. Here's some heroes. We're taking a different direction or whatever. We weren't as close as we thought. I don't care what you say, but just come out and let us know that, because I would rather, because everyone knows that right now we're looking at map, mastery system, and player retention. That's like our 3 things that SMS are working on right now. And if you're going to tell me you're going to come out with a map that literally is just Paragon assets, just a rework of it, I'm going to be disappointed. 100%.
I would have to agree to kind of jump in there. Like, I didn't even really think about it, but you putting it that way, if I am literally seeing the same exact assets just kind of moved around a little bit, oh, this camp is like 2 feet over to the side or something. I mean, a new map is cool, but I'm going to be disappointed. I want to see something new, something nice, something that shows progression, not just editing the previous map, That's an interesting way to put it. Wow.
For me personally, the map, I mean, I think it'd be really nice if it was like brand new and like their own assets. For me, I mainly play jungle, and so the map is something that you're very intimately involved with roaming and trying to take the shortest routes and stuff. And so for me personally, I would love to see something that lends itself well to the aspect system, because I feel like the current map works against it. And I'll give you an example.
Yeah, what do you mean?
So Sevarog, as you know, that's my main character. Since patch 13, I have 199 games. And I run into...
I know, one more game. Wow, why couldn't you just do one more?
I know, I wanted to.
Why you fucking stop short, Rick?
It's I know, almost hit 200, but so with the current map and the aspect system, it's a bit of a... I feel like he's in a weird place, because when I came back at patch 13, and Sevarog was a monster in the jungle. and then they made a few changes, like the new jungle items, and now I'll give you guys a clear example of two roles for Sevarog and how drastically different they are because of the current map and the aspect system. So
Okay.
I would argue in solo lane, Sevarog is easily one of the best solo laners. He might, I would argue, maybe he is broken. Yeah, he might be broken and that powerful, because you go Queen and Titan. And right then, with that combination, with him having Queen and the way that his stacks work, you don't have to build any energy damage whatsoever, and you're just siphoning. You're getting so much energy damage. You just build straight tank, all green items, and you just, because of the way stacks work, Titan also double dips. You get extra energy damage from your health and a little bit extra physical. So you're just getting so much damage. And you're becoming so tanky that you haven't bought a single blue item, but you in the mid game you hit hard. And if you got a couple kills, you're hitting like a truck. And
I think that's an issue more with some of the aspects, though, to be real with you, too.
Yeah, and then but now conversely, I feel Sevarog is the worst jungler, or rather, he's in the worst place as a jungler he's ever been in, because right now it's like what's very strong is auto attack junglers, and an especially potent combo is Beast Hunter, Aggressor. And there's a situation that occurs that I hate more than any other one, but so say it's an auto, and just so you know, an auto attack jungler, that's like 90% of your jungle opponents. Kalari, Boris, Chimera, and Greystone. You're going to encounter that more than anything. And now a good player knows Aggressor and how to utilize it to his strength, i.e. vertical jungling. So right after he takes his red camp, he's going to come to your blue camp. And now as a Sevarog, if it's a Chimera, there's no way you can contend. So, and you need those early stacks desperately. So what happens is, you respond by vertically jungling. Now, let me ask you guys a question. What do you think happens when your duo lane falls on the enemy's red side? How can you help your duo lane when you're forced on the opposite side of the map? And, players are smart. The second, if this happens all the time, because my duo lane is not privy to the situation. And the second they take... what's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the second my duo lane takes one step too far, the enemy jungler is smart. He sees that on his minimap. He just stops camping and ganks, and then it's usually 1 kill or 2 kills, and it's like there's nothing I could do. Because I'm either stuck between the situation where I just have to go there and waste time just trying to shoot him away from camps and calling for help, or I try to do Sev's game plan, get the early stacks, but then basically it's almost always an auto lose, because think about it. If I help my solo laner and he gets super big, but the enemy dual lane gets super big, it's better that the dual lane gets super big, because you got the carry, you got the killer that's a monster, and conversely my team's monster hits like a wet noodle. And so it's two like completely polarized outcomes for Sevarog. Like, you have an absolute demon in the solo lane, and you got this like very difficult to execute game plan in the jungle, and in the current like jungle situation. So I would love to see a map that helps like bring the two closer, so it's like.
So what do you think? Like, if they had a map that was actually mirrored, where, let's say, for example, red side's always on duo side, it's just either on your left or on your right.
Oh, to be perfectly honest with you, I I don't have the faintest idea how to balance it. I can only comment on that. Like, I've been in this situation where it's like, okay, I'm playing against Savage Mode or Trigursky. He's Greystone aggressor. He's Chimera aggressor, and it's just like auto lose at before I even get to play, and that it's tough. It's a tough situation, but I don't have I wouldn't even know how to balance it. Because it's tough. I maybe add like a defensive aspect that I can take, because aggressor is really strong. Aggressor. Yeah, something, I don't know. It's like, because there's no like Titan, Beast Hunter. It as a Sevarog, it's you're super weak early, and
what if they added an maybe like a defensive in a 1v1 you get more armor? I don't know. Or if you're on your half, or counter aggressor, if you're on your half of the map, you get extra armor. But as soon as you go on the enemy side of the map, you don't have extra armor. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'll tell you, like, whatever it would be, I would test it out for sure, because right now I
just take aggressor out of the game then.
I would love that, because
I'm just saying if you're gonna put a counter because then you literally have, once you put aggressor on, and if that person has put the anti-aggressor on there, you just wasted an aspect.
Yeah. So and I would do it every time. If I see Greystone, like an auto attack jungler, I would instant Beast Hunter in that one. Just like that. Be mindful. In a perfect world, you're also not gonna know what the enemy jungler is building until you see him. So you would have to.
Yeah, but he's gonna put it on no matter what. He said if it's an auto attack jungler, he's gonna do it no matter what.
Yeah, if it's Kalari, Boris, Greystone,
yeah, that doesn't mean they're running aggressor. They could be running someone else.
Yeah, but just to play safe, because that's what I'm saying. Because then if he would,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because then if he went Titan Beast Hunter, then that's fine. I just proceed to my normal game plan of like farming as jungle stacks as fast as possible, because it's just the fact that as Sevarog you essentially get half your stacks, like, or you have half your jungle, and then it's extremely risky going into the other jungle, and you're trying to steal, which you have to, but it's so far, and you just end up, ideally you want to have, like, in an ideal game at 20 minutes, you want to have something like 250, or you're approaching that to like stacks as Sevarog. But like these past weeks, I haven't been hitting that. It hasn't even been close. It's been rough.
2 cents on that. I might be thinking about this too simple-minded or whatever, because like, again, I'm like you, JPie. I don't know of a way to make that, or what kind of jungle to design, or how to make that work. But just by listening to it, it sounds to me like it just kind of like a buff that he got a while ago, like the stack, how many stacks he gets in the jungle. That way he'll get more of a benefit by stacking in the jungle. Like I think he
but they almost nerfed them immediately after that. They gave him more stacks per jungle minion, but then they removed it from 5 to 3.
So then, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, buff it, give that buff again inside the jungle. Outside, in lane, he's fine. We know in lane, you said out in the lane, he's almost maybe he's maybe 2 OP or 2 overturned or overtuned or whatever. But like, he's fine in lane. We're having issues in jungle. If that's the case, then that's probably what you'd have to do. Like, give him that ability. Is that way you can you're still getting stacks. You're not losing your stacks with the vertical jungling.
Well, can I just say, I do personally have a problem with the fact that an individual can build full tank and still do good damage because of Beast Hunter and Queen.
Well, man, that's a different situation. But yes, we could.
Beast Hunter and what?
Titan Queen.
Yeah,
I think that's a big issue. Somebody that's building full tank should not be also given damage. At that point, give me a carry item that the more times I hit you, my armor goes up. See how you like that.
Yeah, it's strong. I try it out if you guys get the chance. It's fun. It's super fun, but it's fun, very strong.
But you're gonna fucking hate me as a carry if I have that shit.
Yeah,
That's fun, not fun conversation we had.
Yeah,
Fun, not fun.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of these mechanics, since we're on the subject, a lot of these mechanics are interesting. Like the whole aspect, and I loved the favor rework. How it just went down to a flat value that you get. I think that was a very, very good choice. Right?
Big improvement.
I do think the aspects need to be adjusted now, because those aspects were made to vibe off of the previous favor system. Now those aspects with our current favor system, to me, they almost feel a little out of place, or they just need to be reworked, right?
Yeah.
And maybe even just more variety, like retweak them and then add one for each category. Because right
That'd
now,
be cool.
Yeah, because right now, like on the carry side, for example, you have King that got nerfed, so you get a little bit of extra gold now, still nice, but it's only a little bit, not as efficient as before. Before, you really got rewarded by laning properly. Now it's just like, yeah, it helps. And then you got Hunter, a little bit of extra attack speed, cool, absolutely broken with Bloodlust Saber though. Once all that attack speed start ramping up together. And then you have Ace, extra range that then got nerfed into barely any range, and crit damage, which is like, okay, cool. But the meta that you're almost incentivizing isn't to build crit early. It's to build other stuff early. So now, do I even run Ace? Because that extra crit damage is going to be nice, but this game might be over before I even start building crit, considering the condition of the game. So I really think a rework, just taking a step back, them sitting down and be like, hey guys, if these aspects didn't exist, what aspect would you guys come up with? And just leave that question up to the testers, have a community poll for great ideas and such, and then take the feedback. And then they can sit there and be like, hey, you know what? Considering all the options, we're actually going to keep 2 of the original ones, but let's add 2 new ones. We just remove this one in general because we think it fits a better vibe of the game. Like a mechanic that is that strong shouldn't be as stagnant. It should be a dynamic with the changes in the game, I think. Go ahead.
I think support aspects need to get reworked or something, because if you're not a Narbash or a Steel, like, it's almost pointless to use a white aspect almost, except for to get the CDR. Like, that's the only reason for you to grab the white aspect. Like, as a decker, I'm gonna grab, what is it, Clairvoyant or whatever, which I can't remember what the benefit is. Like, and then I grab Magician just because I have the mana afterwards. But like, I pretty much grab the white aspect just so I can have CDR, so I have the cooldown, so I can get my stun, and I can help get my ultimate back fast enough. Like, I can't even think, there is no benefit really, unless you, like I said, unless you are Muriel and Narbash, that you can use the other one that gives you, that buffs your shields and your heals, which I can't, Bishop I think it is. It buffs Bishop. Like, that one's great for those two. Like, it literally works perfect. But the other ones are kind of like for any, like, Steel. Like, I guess you have the shield with Steel. But like, I don't know. I feel like it's lackluster for the supports.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I run with Decker as well. I go that exact combo with that same exact line of reasoning.
Maybe, while we're on the subject, providing feedback on that, maybe they should do somewhere along the lines of just make it more of risk reward for these aspects in general, right? Like, I don't know how people would feel, but imagine each aspect gives you a really nice bonus, but it also takes something away. Some people might not like that because everybody wants to be gimme, 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 don't do anything to me. But imagine to the point that it's like, hey, an aspect that as a support, you get more gold per assist, but you have 5% less armor.
Yeah, I like that idea. It would be difficult to come up with like a good variety
and everything.
Yeah. But I like it. I think it would serve Fault well to just relook at it, because I think even with, say, Raptor, you get like the Raptor points and stuff. even if it was, I don't know how much gold it gives now. Say it was like they reworked the aspect system in a way where you have like one big aspect, or like maybe like two, like two of their newly made aspects, and they're like considered, they considerably influence the play style. Like you can play maybe you'll be able to play Gideon like one way with these aspects, and then have a nice interesting contrast in play style with these aspects. Because I think tying, like I know objectives are a big thing, but specifically with Raptor, I still think it'd be very valuable, even if it was just like a nice chunk of gold and XP. Because it's like, I don't know how much it gives now, but just say it's like 300 gold per person. If two people just like sneak Raptor, that's a net gain of 1,500 gold for your entire team, which is considerable. Maybe you tweak those numbers to make it well worth it, and before you know it, sure, you don't have like a visual indication like, oh, 3 Raptors to this, but gold wise your team has 4,500 from the Raptors that just you're starting to see it in the items you have, and it might be more, it might not be as in like in your face and visual, but you're gonna be like, if you're fighting a team and each of them have a one more completed item than your team, you're certainly going to notice. You're gonna feel it. Yeah.
So I don't know. The subject of possible reworks, I don't even know if that's something that they would indulge, being mindful. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely something that I would suggest. Again, I would love to hear down below what everybody thinks about the possible aspect rework and such, because as much as we talk about it, it's based off of community, right? But speaking of community with this whole mastery system and such, let's talk about this Grim skin. Like, I'll be real with you. Even though I see this fucking mustache that I hate right on his collarbone, even though that's the first thing I fucking notice on the skin, is like it's like they're finding a spot to put mustaches and see if Windu notices. But I like the overall vibe of the skin, a blacked out Grim with a little bit of silver, or with gold. Gold looks nice.
Yeah.
The plat, I don't know. It might be one of those, the timing, the lighting of the picture. I definitely feel like the plat one is a bit underwhelming compared to this gold one. That contrast is nice.
Yeah, I think look at the gun, and the gun's going to give you the better contrast that you want to see with that. I think that's what you're.
Oh yeah.
But I do think it is
gold one, bro.
I do think it's also the timing of the picture, because these black and blue ones they've been putting out, this is the most lackluster one out of all of them. This looks like it's got a dull blue to it, and I think it's literally a timing. And that might be a hint that tells you that this is reactive, I guess we'll say.
I was about to say, what if it's reactive to light?
Right.
Because we see, based off of the feed, that the light is coming from right to left, meaning all this diamond that we see on the gun actually has a shadow cast on it, because all the sun is on the left side of that, and you can see in the front of the gun that it's getting a little bit of light. That diamond is shining. It's way brighter than the rest. So I hate to be that guy, but maybe a flawed execution on the picture on that one. I think it would have just looked better if they had the lighting source when you're like right at the biggest chunk of diamond, if it was going to reflect.
Yeah. What I do like about this hero and this mastery system is his arms. Look at the lines in his arms. The lines in his arms match that color. So it's on the diamond one, you can see that diamond color. On the gold, you can see that gold color. On the silver, you see that silver. And on the red one, on the white one, you see the red one.
I
the red
see
line.
Specifically on the left arm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a nice touch. That really is.
I like
nice
how
touch.
that really in depth with it. What I don't like with it is if you look at Grim, the actual character, the guy controlling the executable, the blue one, he's got this war paint, right? It's almost like the football like paint on his eyes, but on the silver and the gold, you don't even see that. Like, it's so hard for you to see anything on there, but like it's so noticeable with the blue one.
Where do you see war paint?
Okay, it's his eyes. Like to me, it looks like it's below his eyes. I could be wrong. It could be his eyes, But either way,
But
the
it
colors
looks like
aren't
his
popping.
eyes are diamond in that one. In this
Okay,
one, his eyes
let's
are gold.
call his eyes that. I don't even
And then
see
in
it
this
like
one, his eyes are
it
gray.
looks gray. Yeah, it's not the silver.
I honestly can't even zoom in anymore. This is like the most.
That's my point, though. It's like literally, I'm just going off of everything side by side on where I got it pulled up here. It's so obvious with the red and blue one. His eyes stand out, right? So his eyes, in my opinion, so the little thing he's holding, right? Go to the blue one. See how that blue? It matches, like it pretty much matches his eyes, right? It stands out, that color.
Mm-hmm.
Now go to the gold one. That gold is not the eye color. It's a different color.
It's almost a little off.
Yeah, and the same with the silver one. The silver one is gray, not the silver. That doesn't, I think that's the one thing they've been doing with all these characters is their eyes have been matching the stage of the mastery system.
Like Grimm's eyes, they match.
Grimm's eyes do. Grimm's eyes match perfectly through this, except for the red one. Go to the red. Go to the.
And now that it's got yellow eyes, get me.
Now it's got like these white yellow eyes, right? Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't understand. Even though, again,
uniformity.
That's
the thing. That's the thing we've been saying the whole time.
Yeah, but as far as colors go, the whole white and red on Grimm, cool. The what is it, like the white chain, black chain, black forehead, white face, the black shoulder pads almost with like a black core, black abs with white. I'm really digging the differences in color contrast here, like where they what they choose to make black, what they choose to make white, what they choose to make gray, and I like it in the gun also.
Do the lines on his chest, the red lines on his chest, do they look thinner in the stage 4 compared to stage 1, 2, and 3? Or is that just that black that makes that contrast pop more?
It might be the fact that it's black, but I see what you mean. Like if you look at the circles on his chest, or the mustaches,
mustaches and the circles.
When you look at them in the white skin, it definitely feels like they're thin. I don't know.
I do like it though. I mean,
yeah, I like it. I don't think it would make sense to me because it's probably just easier to change the texture and the color. You feel me?
Yeah, than to go in and try to thin it out.
Sake. Yeah.
Right. No, I agree. It's just something and again, that could also, we do know that stage 4 is the skin is in motion, right? So that could just be part of the way the red is, the way the red's hitting, so it does look a little thinner maybe. So we do know that one for sure. We haven't been confirmed on stage 3 that it moves, but it kind of looks like it might.
Well, I think stage 3 is just going to be reflective to the sun. That would be cool because you're getting up there.
Lighting.
And then stage 5 is reflective to the sun and it moves. Because you can see here that his center has really bright red lines, but the further you go up, they get darker. And then on his shoulder pads, we see dark and light. So I'll be real, this is a pretty cool picture. Again, I think the angle lighting, I really would have preferred from the left to actually see more of the red on this gun. Because if we follow the diamond one, we know that's all red. But there's a fucking shadow on it, and you can't even tell. It looks almost like a muddy color. Where I really would have wished all that part in the back of the gun would be as bright as the front handles that are red. Just maybe like put more of the lighting over there, like force lighting into it or something. I don't know, but I thoroughly like the colors. Even like his feet have the magma, whatever. Like all his little bolts on his core on the way up are the magma color. I think this is really
those abs.
Those abs with that are gray with a little bit of red. My boy's flex.
I'm really interested. The one thing I do like about the mastery system and how they're doing it, you have like no clue what you're gonna see as the character. Like you have to wait until you unlock that skin to see what you're gonna see when you play Grimm.
You know, that's a good point. Like you kind of know what to expect, and you might be able to even see it in let's say in the menu if they add it, or maybe they just keep it pictures. And then when you actually see a mastery skin, you're like, oh shit, he's got the mastery skin for Decker. That's lit.
Yep.
Or I don't like it. I'd rather just get the tier 5 one and that I paid for $20 or whatever this shit, you know?
Right. Nope. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. You got any thoughts on it, J-Pie, since you've been hella quiet?
Yeah, I like my favorite of the master skins normally have been like the silver and black ones because I like the minimalistic style,
Yeah,
and so
just
for a
like the
lot
heavy
of them,
contrast.
yeah, it's like simple and like that's even. I probably like I don't know how long it's gonna take to have a mastery skin, but I already know with Sevarog I'm rocking the silver one. Now that one's like I really like the silver ones. I don't know why. It's like just simple silver black. Those always appeal to me.
I mean-
and Windu, one thing about the mustaches is when you have the skin, you're not gonna see it. So you're not gonna.
You
have
don't
to
know
worry about
that.
it.
You don't know there's no
You
mustaches
don't know.
on the back.
You don't know.
Oh,
if
in the
there's no
back?
mustaches on the
Oh.
back, bro. We've only seen the fronts of these, but even then, I know they're there.
Okay.
I know they're there. You know, it's one of those things. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't changed my car's oil in a while. You don't know that the car's oil hasn't changed, but I know the car's oil needs changing. Like, you feel me? It's just like I know there's that issue there. But,
SMS is
you
gonna
know,
play a game. Let's hide the mustache. You gotta find it.
But at this point, I feel like that's what's going on. I feel like they actually just throw in one random mustache just to be like, let's piss them off. That's good content. But,
So for anybody watching, when you look at these master skins, this might not be the final outcome. This might just be to fuck
True.
with Windu, and then like there's gonna be some tweaks.
bro, you
Do it.
imagine? I'll be both happy and pissed off.
Right?
If that were the
You
case,
fucked with me for so many weeks.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious though.
I doubt they'd go that much out of their way. TBA, but that would be hilarious. But also, to wrap it up here, because I know Cooch has to get to streaming and J-Pie has to get to content creating. Let's read this outro here, because the outro, I feel like is probably even a little bit more intriguing. So they mentioned we're very excited for the near future of Fault as we continue to grow our team and travel down the road to our full release. We have been fairly quiet as we work towards our next major patch release, while working on our bi-weekly patches that contain new items, bug fixes, game balance, and more. Aiming for a major patch release. Last time we've gotten major patch releases, good stuff have come out of them. Fingers crossed. We have some big plans for the next large-scale update, and we'll share more details with you all very soon about what is coming. I really wish they wouldn't have said we'll share more stuff soon. Just because of the soon TM thing and everything, be like literally we have more stuff coming. I would have just, period.
Yeah.
Just a personal preference.
No, I mean, but that's because as the OGs, we've been here. We know what Soon TM is, but Soon TM is like it's at an all-time low in comparison to when we first got here, right? Like you don't even see like if you see Soon TM, it's only because somebody's memeing in chat. Like it's not even a thing anymore, really.
Now, worth mentioning, is that a good or a bad thing? Because even before with Soon TM, people were expecting things, and they just kept bringing it up, hoping for answers, or hoping for something new, right?
And yes, I get your point, but overall, in my opinion, it's a good thing because the fact that the Soon TM became a meme because the fact that it was, hey, we're giving you this to you next week, the next week, the next week, and then it became a soon TM, and then and then that's how it became. So now that we're not getting these soon TMs anymore, it means that we're hitting goals at a more consistent pace.
I could see that. I just also would, I don't know, like in my mindset, I also think, okay, so a healthy environment will have its troll, right? If you got trolls, you're doing, you're doing something right. When you see the trolls die down, what does that tell you? As far as community, you know what I mean? Like, that's just my mindset. I don't know if it actually means something, but I know for a fact if I don't have somebody coming into some of my content and trying to be trolly or talking some shit, I might be doing something wrong. TBE.
Right. No, I got you.
But so yeah. So they also mentioned we've been keeping our eyes on the community and we're taking feedback and reports and an increased rate. At an increased rate, maybe?
Yes.
I'm gonna assume that's a typo.
Yep, typo.
And reports at an increased rate. We want to make our game as comfortable as possible for all types of players, both casual and competitive. Good to hear. We've been logging crucial feedback and discussing them internally as we work towards changes and new features to improve toxicity, player onboarding, and more. Thank you for your support.
Hey.
We wouldn't have made it this far without each and every one of you. I like the fact that they thank you. What were you going to say?
That second paragraph, the one that starts with also, right?
Mm-hmm.
And has a typo in it, right? That second paragraph, remember to our last video we just did for the patch notes and how I brought up about how people were complaining about how they're not like the people aren't reading the feedback log, people aren't doing that, whatever. That
Now they're
there,
stating
and I
that
was
they're
saying,
what they are.
and I was saying, hey, I'm not saying, hey, you know, Cooch asked for this or whatever. This is what, so we're giving this. I'm not saying like we're not like don't give credit. You don't have to give credit to that exact person, but come out and say something.
You want credit?
No, I'm not saying, but I'm saying, like, look at, I'm pointing out,
like it actually happened. I got you.
I'm pointing out, put in the comments what you want because they read the comments. Like literally this video, like that video we talked about last week, there it is. Another example is when I talked about when they brought in all the different visuals and they didn't show it. And I said something and the next update, bam, here's all the visuals we fixed.
Worth mentioning.
Like things like that happen.
I don't disagree. They definitely listen and they definitely watch and read comments and stuff. But we also did mention, make sure that you proofread shit. Have somebody proofread it. Make sure that it's solid. And I've had a brain fart reading that. I was like, taking feedback and reports and an increase rate. I'm gonna assume that was at an increase rate.
Yes.
You feel me?
I would rather have that right there and them still like put everything. I'm okay with this, but yes, that still needs to get worked.
Mistakes can happen, but yeah, some proofreading for sure. But yeah, man, honestly, I like that they mentioned that they've been keeping their eyes on the community. And I would also like to hear from them a little bit more about new and possible upcoming partners, because as they keep an eye on the community, there have been individuals that shine, individuals that don't shine, etc. I want to hear. The last partners that got added were Bren and Ed. That shit was over half a year ago. What it feels like, or about a half a year ago. When did they get added? February, I think.
Somewhere around there.
Something like that. So about half a year ago. Which, sure, partners isn't something that they necessarily have to always add, right?
Right.
Partners are going to come and go. And it's just one of those things that it's nice to see growth within the community. So even if every once in a while you see one individual rise to the rank of partner, well, just a little bit of community growth. Because there are a lot of streamers out there that really are thriving for events, situations like that, and opportunities like that, and they're consistently applying, trying to get it in. They're busting their ass and everything. And if they don't see any growth, any potential return out of streaming their game, busting their ass to try and represent a company to the best of their abilities and such, it can be very discouraging. You know what I mean? That's why even the biggest companies are like, hey, have a food day on us. Let's order some pizza for you. Just as a thank you for being such active streamers, this is what we're going to do. Which Twitch drops could be an easy solve to that also. But I do personally want to see more community building as opposed to just community interaction, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I like that they mentioned that they're like looking out for the casual and competitive players, and because I mean there's I've noticed something that I've been watching a lot of streams lately, and I think it's going to become more prevalent soon, where you can run Boris as an ad carry. And I want to ask the community what you guys think, because you run Titan Guard on him, and with the health potion, and he gets his support, and he can have like 230 CS before 20 minutes or by the 20-minute mark, and it's like a very potent combo. I think I started seeing it a lot more recently watching streams, and I think it's going to become like maybe even a meta pick, just because he's pretty strong. So I hope that maybe SMS takes a look at him and sees, because he's definitely in a place where he performs exceptionally well outside his intended role, because I don't think he's supposed to be an ad carry. You know, it shouldn't be that he's able to yeah, like, I mean, I get it, I get it. There's off meta picks and stuff, and that's possible. But like, if it was like at the most competitive level possible, right? Which I want to see Fault achieve, and I think that if you just like imagine, like, you know, two teams, they're both on comms, and you have this scenario where the one side is running ad carry Boris, and how it would play out. It's very potent. It's like
I haven't gone against that, but I'd like to see it, because the one time I saw Boris in the duo lane, it did not go well. Now, granted, it's been a while since I saw it, but it would take an interesting comp and a lot of help from the jungler, I think, to support that, because two people with poke can easily just kind of get him out of there, even with the T armor or whatever you want to put on him.
Yeah, I mean, but I saw a game yesterday. You know, and he didn't even have like a snowball start. It was like, you know, 1-1, 1-2, 3-2, 3-3. Like, that was kind of how the laning phase went. But just his like right click, you know, you just like smack a wave once or twice, boop, boop, wave's gone. And then like if the you know the duo, like if they go to gold buff or leave the lane, it's just like he eats up minions, and that, I mean, he's a bear, I guess that's his theme, but it's just something to keep an eye on, because it can it's strong. It's, you know, I like the I just I'm worried about,
he just needs more eyes on him
if it's competitive. Yeah, like, because, you know, if it's like it could be borderline broken at a competitive level, where you have like the guys who know how to play him, know the roles, know the matchups, know everything. It could be really really potent. So let me know what you guys think. Yeah, like in the comments.
Yeah, let us know in the comments about all these things. If you guys agree, disagree, what you guys think should be changes that should be happening. Again, we know for a fact that they read everything, but I know y'all gotta go. I gotta go. Let's call it an end to the video, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.